Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian, and this is Walking Bass Line Step 2, Minor Chords. On Walking Bass Lines number 1, I covered major triads, and I explained a little about the strong beats and the weak beats and the importance of it. And if they're applied correctly, your lines will be rock solid at all times. And this is great. You don't have to experiment. You don't have to play a scale that you don't know how it's going to sound by going up and down it. Everything is predictable and solid as a rock. So let's get started on the minor triads right now. Once again, I'm going to start with the triad in its simplest version. And this will be a minor triad, of course, A minor. So we have 1, flat 3, and 5 in this position, 5th position. 5th fret E string, 8th fret E string, and 7th fret A string. Notes would be A, C, E, C. Now on this one, I'm going to show you something a little different that I wanted to show you before, but like each time I do this, I'd like to add a little something theoretical, and in this case, it would be about the positioning of this triad. Now basically, I feel there's 3 different positions you can get from this general area to play that triad. Now, why would you do that? You would do that if you were going to extend up the neck this way, for instance, and play other notes. You might want to use the 5th position. But then again, if you wanted to stay extended over to here, you'd use the 3rd position. And then you have the third shape you could use on this, which would be the 2nd position, because your index finger is on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is the E, and the 5th of the A minor triad. Now, like I said, the reason you would do that is if you're going to move around. I mean, we're just starting out here. This is a beginner type of thing. And so basically what you're going to do is stay in one position. But later on when you progress, you're going to want to move around. I mean, myself personally, I go from here to here all the time, you know, and it sounds beautiful. I love the way. You know, that sound of the ascending and descending line is really something else, but I'm not here today to teach you that. I'm going to take you through 10 simple minor triad examples. Each one of them works perfectly. It goes by the rule of strong beats and weak beats, and it always has notes from the triad in there. So it works perfectly. Okay, I have 5 examples I'd like to show you, and I'll show you them one at a time and explain what's going on. All the examples were written so they could be played in any order and work fine. I would like to put it in groups of 2, because 2 measures works pretty nice. So how many combinations can you get with groups of 2 using 5 units or 5 different examples? Well, let's check it out a little bit. I'm going to start right now. We'll go through all of them, and I'll briefly explain what's going on. That would be example 11. By the way, it's example 11 because I did 10 examples on Walking Bass Lines number 1, and this is a continuation. Even though they were major chords, number 11 is a minor chord, and there are 10 of those. I'll discuss 5 of them today. So we have 1, flat 3, 5, 3. Okay, that'd be the first one, and then we just reverse the root in 5th. 1, 5, 3, 5, flat 3, by the way. And then the next one, we put an octave, starting from the upper octave, and play the 3rd and the 5th. Next example, we reverse the octave, starting from the lower octave, and play a 5th to a 3rd. Final example, I'm adding a scale tone to this. That's different, and it is the 2nd degree of the scale, or the 9, depending on how you look at it. A 9 works well on minor chords as well as major chords. It fits in and gives you a little variation to the color of the line, so it goes. So you have You have the root on the first beat, and you have the minor third on the third beat, which is a strong beat, and you have the 2 on the second beat, which sort of is like a scale tone going from one chord tone to the next. Okay, so I explained that basically quickly. Now let's try some combinations. Now remember, you can use any of these in any order you want. I'm going to stick to combinations of 2. And from what my research and counting and mathematics, it sounds like I can get 10 unique combinations. If you use permutations, you can get 20. But I'm going to stick with the combos. We'll use 11 and 12. That will be our first group of 2 out of 5. Sounds reasonable. Now let's try number 11 and 13. They'll work famously. You'll see. Still works fine. Sounds good. Same notes, but in a different order. Let's try another combination. We'll try 11 and 14. Now this sounds like this. Now let's try 11 and 15. See how that sounds. We're working on number 12 and 13 right now, and we'll take a look at it, analyze it, and then we'll play it and see if we can make something happen with it. We have a root, a fifth, a third, and the fifth. That's number 12. Now on number 13, we have an octave, upper octave, lower octave, and then the third and the fifth. Now let's put them together. Okay, let's try another one. We'll try, let's see, number 14 and number 15. We'll look at it again. We have lower octave, upper octave, fifth, and then third. And then on 15, we have root, second, third, and fifth. So that would be root, 9 or second, third, and fifth. So let's play them together. Now let's take a look at 15. There's something you can do with that that's very interesting. And I am going to take that line and I'm going to turn it into a 4-bar phrase. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to first play it down here. Then I'm going to play it up an octave, same line. And then I'm going to descend with that same line. And then I'm going to play it from the lower octave again. So that's a 4-measure phrase using the same line over and over again, but it really doesn't sound like it's repeating. At least I don't think so. That's interesting. You can do that with any of these lines as well. And that's a nice idea to try out. I didn't write it down. It would take a half a page, but the idea is you want to find your own permutations, and the way you can do that is to understand the line and see it clearly as a pattern on the neck and start playing around with it. Now, as I said, I'll repeat myself, these lines are rock solid. They are made to be correct at all times. As long as you don't add extra notes that don't make sense. You can add notes, but you have to know what you're doing. And it has to be going somewhere, and it has to kind of pay respect to the strong and the weak beats on the chord tones, which I've showed you to do. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of all the videos yet to come, comment, and like. I thank you for stopping by, and I'll be back real soon with more on walking bass lines.